Hey guys, Shroow here, and welcome back to another video. Today I did an in-depth comparison of the Model O and the Model O wireless. Make sure you watch the end because this gets pretty interesting, and yeah, enjoy the video. In the Minecraft PvP community, there's always been an acknowledged king of the gaming mouse market, the glorious Model O. For the $50 price tag, many have considered this mouse to be well worth it and moved on. But now, almost a year after the launch of the wireless version, I want to take a look at the Model O compared to its cordless competitor, the Model O wireless, to see who reigns victorious. To start off, I would like to say that I have not been compensated in any way to draw this comparison one way or the other. I just want to let you guys know which one is more worth it. Okay, let's get into it. To start off, the regular Model O is amazingly priced. For $50, the features it offers are great if you want a double-clicking mouse. The wireless version is an expensive $30 more, but stick around to the end of the video to see if it is worth it. Okay, let's get into the battery life. Being wired, the Model O already has a big advantage over the Model O wireless. The battery life on the wireless mouse is pretty terrible, especially with RGB on. Having to charge it is kind of a hassle for me at least, so I can understand why the wired version would be more convenient. I can maybe get like 2 or 3 days out of this mouse before it dies on me, which is really just, I can't deal with that. It really is a hassle. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the actual buttons and features on both mice. Some of these are weird and might just be a problem with my specific mice, but I think it is important to note them anyway. First, this is a really tiny thing, but the scroll click seems to be a little harder to press down on my O wired. This is a very small thing, I don't know, but it's just interesting that it's fixed on the O wireless, so maybe this actually was a real problem. I've also found the software can be a little glitchy for the O wireless, whereas this hasn't happened with my admittedly short time using the O wired. Which, speaking of the software, I think they call it Glorious Core, is really great. I highly recommend it. It's one of the best gaming peripheral softwares that I've ever used. So hats off to the guys at Glorious for just making the software awesome and really easy to use and very customizable. One more small thing, the right click on my O wired squeaks, which is super annoying. Even just lightly touching it on the right edge makes it do this, and this gets really annoying when you're bridging or butterfly clicking. I also know one of my friends this also happened to, so this kind of seems to be a thing with this mouse. Okay, now let's move on to the big things. First of all, in my experience, you can click faster on the Model O wireless than on the regular Model O. This is because in the software, you can lower the debounce time to 0 ms, but on the wire, this only goes down to 4 ms. I was trying to think what the best game to test this in was, and then it came to me, Sumo. Not just any Sumo though, Sumo on PvP Land. If you don't know, PvP Land has a feature where you can practice against bots who have a consistent CPS and amount of KB. Check out these games. Did you see a difference? Probably not. This is because, as you probably gathered from the clips, CPS has never been a problem for me on the O wired. I've still hit 20 CPS on it, and the difference in KB is not super clear if there is one. Several servers like Hypixel even have CPS cap around 15 to 20, so difference in CPS doesn't even apply in many cases. So for jitter clicking, both mice are very good. They both have essentially the same mouse switches, so it would be expected to be pretty much the same. My average on both is about 11 to 14, although something like the G Pro with even lighter switches is going to be better for jitter clicking. For drag clicking, I found that both mice are pretty much equal again. The Model O wireless felt a little better, but that might just because I'm more used to it. I was able to gob bridge and moonlock very easily on both, so they're both solid for drag and jitter. And for butterfly, they're also both great, although I have hit higher CPS on the O wireless. I don't know how to describe it, but the switches on my O wireless just kind of feel like harder, and it kind of makes it easier to double click, whereas the switches on the wired Model O feel somehow lighter. Okay, there's one more thing I need to address though, and this is probably the biggest deal breaker for the Model O. The deal breaker is the weight. The Model O wireless weighs about 70 grams. This is a very light mouse, especially for it being wireless. But if you take the cable into account, the regular Model O weighs a whopping 100 grams, which is pretty heavy for a gaming mouse. This is just too heavy for a mouse in my opinion, even though the actual body of the mouse doesn't weigh this much. So if you're a jitter clicker, if you aim with your arm, you have low sensitivity, you're moving the mouse around a lot, moving the cord, that's a lot of extra weight on your arm. So which one should you get? Should you even get a Glorious mouse at all? Well, between the O and the O wireless, I personally would go with the wireless version. Even with the $80 price tag, the advantage of the 30-gram weight difference plus the much lower debounce time means that this mouse will outperform most others on the market for Minecraft PvP, bridging, etc. There are other options though. HyperX released their Pulsefire Haste mouse a couple months ago, and for $40 it's an excellent option. Roccat has also come out with their new Cone Air and Cone Air Pro mice, which are also very good. Like the video and comment down below if there's any other mice that you want me to compare. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!